go. Poopy and Galileo.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. It's
Poopy and
time to
Galileo.
review another episode of Lore of League of Legends. I present to you the lore of Poppy, the Iron Ambassador, and Galileo, the Sentinel Sorrow. Enjoy.
Sentinel Sorrow.
Yordles are an interesting race. There's no doubt about that.
No, they're not. Just off with their heads. All of them.
Those short, colourful
Fuck
people
Yordles.
love spending time with each other, playing games and chatting. They're rarely cruel, brutal, or even rude.
Yordles are
That's what
made
makes
for
them-
like a bedtime story. That's why Yordles are here. It's like they live in fairyland. They do like dumb shit all day. It's like
So popular amongst the people of Valoran. If someone wanted to underestimate Yordles, though, he'd make a grave mistake. The
I do
race
love
is known for
the
its
music
skilled
back
warriors, extraordinary engineers, and trained blacksmiths. The skills that Yordles have mastered are no secret to anyone. That's why one of Demacian generals has contacted a Yordle smith, Blongrum, to craft a helmet worthy of his position in the army. It was meant to be a glorious beyond comparison. The smith accepted the contract and put all his efforts into completing the helmet, making it the finest of his works. There was only one
Poopy.
thing that Blongrum had loved more than his work: Poppy, his young daughter. She was not alike her friends. When other girls played games and braided wreaths, Poppy would rather stay at her father's forge, watching him work. She spent her childhood helping in her dad's armor shop, and she always loved it. When Poppy was strong enough to lift her father's hammer, the Wampa, Blongrum
The
swelled with
Wampa.
pride, watching his own daughter work on her first item in his own workshop.
creepy. Yeah.
To his surprise, the young girl
All the
demonstrated an
Yordles are
incredible
creepy.
natural gift for smithing. Blongrum was proud of his girl, and he had sworn to himself that he would do anything it takes for Poppy to become a great blacksmith like himself. When working on the commissioned helmet, the smith had
The
decided
thing
to
is,
finally
like
let
with
his daughter-
Yordles, they just throw everything, everything that's like dwarves, gnomes, tiny furries, all that shit. Yeah, that's all of it is Yordles. Fuck it. We don't want to differentiate. We don't want to make multiple races like dwarves, gnomes, like tiny elves, fairies. Fuck it. Everyone's just a Yordle. That's it.
daughter take part in the creation of something bigger, something greater than things she would always craft on her own. She was burdened with setting the center jewel, the most important
Solid
piece
sneezing
of the whole
skills.
work. It was no easy task, but Poppy put her heart into it and made no mistakes. When the work had been finished, both Poppy and Blongrum had prepared for it to be delivered, but because of its value they weren't intending to have anyone else deliver the crown. They'd rather go to Demacia themselves and deliver it in person.
Okay.
Those two set off from Bandle City, carrying the helmet straight to the heart of Demacia. Unfortunately, word of the general's request had reached Noxus. The High Command would never pass an opportunity to harass any of the Demacian generals, and so two assassins have been sent to steal the helmet and bring it back to Noxus. They've assaulted Blongrum and Poppy on the road, hoping to retrieve the helmet.
Little did they know.
Blongrum
Poppy's
wasn't going
very
to
thick.
accept that. He stood up to the assassins, trying to fight them, and give Poppy enough time to run away with the helmet and save her life.
What a shitty tank. Tanks are frontliners. They don't run away. They fight. They stay and fight.
He didn't have any chances to defeat the two skilled assassins in combat, but he was trying his best. Unfortunately, though, it wasn't enough. He was slain on the road while Poppy had been watching everything from a nearby bush. When the two assassins
Clearly
left,
doesn't
Poppy
know how
left
to
her
run away.
hiding spot and buried her father. She
Well,
was
she's waiting for her chance to gank. She's waiting for them to let their guard down to come back to lane and gank.
broken, depressed, and lost. But she was intent.
She's getting flamed by her dad as he died, and she's like question marking. Dude, you already asked, man. I said I worked out. Want him to come over and we'll do a workout at your place? Is that what you want?
Intended to finish what they'd started. She grabbed the Wampa and the helmet and followed down the road, alone. She was just a little girl, lost somewhere in Valoran, but she had no choice.
What time? (1 p.m.) 12? That's like right around the corner. Okay, fine. Fine, we'll do that. Sure. Second workout, let's go.
She could not just
12:30,
return
alright.
to the Vandal city and fail her father. He wouldn't want his work to go to waste. Days passed before Poppy reached Demacia. Dirty, exhausted, and frightened, Poppy made her way into the palace and found the general handing him the helmet and refused any payment. She knew that her father would want the general to wear this
yeah,
helmet,
because you have
and no sum of money could compensate for her loss. And just after that, Poppy collapsed, finally letting her body get some rest. The general noticed the girl's determination and sacrifice. He's spoken with King Jarvan and representatives of Bandle City in order to secure a position for the girl. She was to become a Yordle ambassador to Demacia to honour her determination and honour. Poppy had taken the position, doing her best not to fail anyone.
Bro, at the end of the day, what Noxus just did, is a double problem for them, because they killed her father. Not only did Demacia just get another warrior who became, I believe, like a general or whatever. The worst part is they got one of the best blacksmith in the land to work for Demacia exclusively. Like, I think that's a very bad move by Noxus. That's like such a dumb strategy move. It's like, yo, let's piss everyone off.
Not so long after, Poppy volunteered to join the League of Legends, seeking to crush Noxians with the hammer of her father.
Isn't it kind of counterproductive to go to like the Institute of War to fight? Because the whole point of like the Institute of War is that like you can fight there to your heart's content and no one actually dies. Isn't that kind of beats the point of like you beating the enemy? Like, even if you go to the Institute of War and you can defeat your enemy, the other problem is you're showing the enemy your abilities. Therefore, when they meet you, if they ever meet you on the field of battle, actually, like an actual war, they will know what to expect from you. It's like, it's not a very productive way to fight, you know? It's like somebody you always box with, right? It's like, let's say like it's a boxing match, right? And it's like your opponent is somebody you've been boxing for years. Like, let's say for the last 4 years, you've been boxing the same person, right? He knows everything about you, but then for the last year, you haven't boxed with that person. In your mind, man, I'm better than this guy. I don't have to work hard. That guy, I know all of his fucking tricks. I'm gonna practice to defeat him because I know what he can do. Obviously, it's not like that in real life. But I'm just saying, in a war, especially like when you have like specific skills, specific spells, I think like it's easier to develop strategies if you know what the skills are.
Galileo, that was his name. At least the one that he knew. There were many like him, other constructs, golems created by magical experiments and rituals,
Anti-mages.
now forbidden by the League of Legends. They used to be very popular amongst expert spellcasters. They could serve as tireless guardians and sentinels watching over villages or people. There was one man known for his art of crafting artificial life, a mage called Durand. He spent his whole life to create the perfect golem that he could always trust. That's how he was born.
Wait,
Galileo,
Durand?
the work of his life. A mighty construct.
Wait a second. Durand? Is this him? This is the guy who made Galileo. She. That's the guy, we found him. We know who Durand is.
Shaped after a gargoyle, crafted of rough dark stone. He was meant to be a guard on Durand's journeys, and allow him to perform his work without need to fear about any outside dangers. And Galileo made no mistakes. He was perfect.
It's perfect. It was perfect. Oh, the muscles, the stone structures. Oh, it was perfect.
He was in fact so perfect that he'd drawn the attention of a Noxian high command. Seeing the work of the Demacian golemsmith as a danger to the power of Noxus, he was meant to be disposed of, to make sure that no more golems of that might could be crafted. He was assaulted and heavily outnumbered by Noxian assassins. Galileo could not even react before his master had been slain, lying lifeless on the ground.
Rest in peace, Durand. I'll see
The
in
protection of
Summoner's
his
War.
master was the only reason he even existed. Now Durin was dead, and Galileo had no purpose in life. He'd fallen into deep depression, turning back into a lifeless statue to mourn over his master that he couldn't protect. He stood there for months, maybe years. Nobody can even tell. Surrounded by fruit trees with fruits ripening on the branches, he stood there, day after day, night after night. He would not even move slightly. He had no reason to. He became a monument to his own failure. Something happened though, something that Galileo would never have expected. Many people have visited the orchard, some have rested there. No one was brave enough to rest just next to the imposing statue. But this girl
lonely,
didn't
man.
seem scared. She was no taller than 4 feet, wielding a huge hammer and carrying a helmet of some sorts. She sat down in Galileo's shadow, getting a rest before moving forward. She was there just a few minutes, but Galileo had felt something. He could easily feel her emotions. She was sad, desperate. There was a heavy burden on that young person's shoulders. That's not what had inspired him. There was something else about that yordle. She was determined to finish her goal. Before Galileo could even react, the girl was already gone, heading straight to Demacia. Feeling
That's a very slow reaction speed. He probably had like a 200 ping or some shit like that.
ashamed that she had enough strength to go forward, he started thinking about his own purpose, his own past. There was something that his master always wanted. The reason why he had been bringing so many golems to life.
Mm-hmm.
He wanted them to protect the borders of Demacia. He wanted to keep them safe from Noxian advances. Perhaps there was a way for Galileo to fulfill that. Perhaps he could be of some use, other than standing vigil over Durin's remains. He's broken his stone form, arising from a silent purgatory. He quietly followed in the footsteps of the young girl, and he had a new purpose now. He failed to protect his master, but he won't fail to protect Demacia. That's why he's made. That's his purpose. And that's all we prepared for you this time around. We hope you enjoyed it. Please let us know by pressing.
I wish life was that easy. It's like you know where you're created and you know your purpose. And it's like that's your life's goal. That's it. Nope, man. Not in today's day and age. You get born, you're fucking clueless until you're 80, and then you calculate all the stuff you regret, and it's like, oh shit, that's what I was supposed to do, and then you die. It's like, fuck do I know what my life's purpose is? make React content on YouTube. That's my life's purpose. Oh god. All right. Yep. So that's Poopy and Galileo, and we'll go to the next one and the last one for the morning, and maybe I'll do 36 to 40 in the evening. But yeah, let's go.